Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over an updated wildcard draft for Double Gameweek 22. So if you're excited for the video, make sure to drop a like down below. Leave a comment, are you thinking of wildcarding this week? Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, this updated wildcard draft goes over Double Gameweek 22, Double Gameweek 23, the blanks in 25, and also the blanks in 28 as well. So it kind of covers you for all of those big things coming up. You, of course, can always play your free hits and whatnot in any of the weeks, like a blank or something if you want to, but this kind of covers all bases just in case you've already used your free hit and all that stuff. So, starting things off in goal, Kepa and Ward. Kepa is in goal over Edison because Kepa does not blank in Game Week 28, whereas City are most likely to, as well as Leicester being likely to blank as well. So, of course, if you have Edison and Ward, you will not have a playing keeper, but Kepa does not blank in 28, so you will be able to play him, and I think he has a pretty good fixture as well, actually, when I think about it. If I go to the fixtures, Game Week 28, yeah, he's got Everton at home, so, I mean, that hopefully will be a clean sheet for Chelsea, so that is a pretty big swing in a week where, like, you know, a lot of people will be free hitting, but at the same time, if you don't free hit in that week, you're going to be able to use your free hit in like a big double that happens later on in the season. There's like pros and cons to free hitting on a blank and a double, but either way, that's why these are the two keepers. The back line, we have Ben White, Mings, Ake, Shaw, and Trippier. So obviously White is in there for your Arsenal defender. A lot of people are kind of going against Arsenal defense and just going for 3 Arsenal attackers. I don't mind that at all, but there's just not many like decent defenders to choose from at the moment that won't be blanking in like 25 and 28 and will be doubling soon, so that's why Ben White's there. If there is another player that's obviously a better option, then fair play, go for 3 Arsenal outfield players, but as of right now, I think Ben White for 4 point, I think, is he 4.7? I might have gone up to 4.7. Either way, a really good option. Yeah, he is 4.7, but either, like I say, still a really good option. Mings is in there as well. You're not going to be playing him anytime soon, but he doesn't blank in 25, and also he doesn't blank in 28 as well, and has some decent fixtures. Everton away in Game Week 25, and then he has Bournemouth at home in 28. So Aston Villa players, if there's a way you can get them into your team and just like be able to bench them, but you just save a free transfer down the line, like if you can make a luxury transfer this week where you don't have to bring in a United, like you've already got triple United, you've already got triple City, you've already got triple Arsenal, and you just don't know what to do, and you have like a player that you don't really need, try and bring in an Aston Villa player because they're going to be very useful going over like the blanks and stuff. But that's why he's there. I've gone Ake as well for your City defender, just simply because with Cancelo going to Bayern Munich, he's most likely going to be nailed like every single game now. He was pretty much already nailed anyway, but the transfer window's closed. They didn't sign another fullback. Obviously Walker's still there and like Lewis and stuff, but Walker's kind of also fell out of favor. I think the back line mainly consists of like Ake and maybe Diaz as well now that he's back and Stones is out. Laporte might get a shout, and then yeah, that right back spot could easily be Lewis or Walker, but I think Lewis is more in favor now. I wouldn't go Lewis over Ake because there's a little bit doubt. There's still that little bit doubt over playing him, but at the same time, Ake I think is a pretty sure thing now that Cancelo's gone. And then Shaw's there obviously for the double in 22, and then Trippier, of course. Trippier, you can now see the blanks for Newcastle after the win last night. Again, United might not even blank in 25 if Forest pull off a miracle tonight, and, you know, I would love them to as a Forest fan, but very unlikely. We go into Old Trafford 3-0 down. Like, I don't think we're going to be scoring 4 goals. It's going to be like a Liverpool-Barcelona situation if we somehow do that. It'd be absolutely mental scenes. But yeah, most likely not going to happen. So yeah, United are probably going to blank in 25. So that's the back line, kind of covering all bases there. The midfield, we have Saka, Mahrez, Rashford, Andreas Pereira, and Bruno Fernandes. So Saka is just in there simply because he's one of the better Arsenal attackers. Not sure if he's going to stay on pens now that Jorginho is in the picture. I think if Jorginho is on the pitch, Saka might be off pens, but I don't think Jorginho is going to be playing like every single game. I don't really know who he's going to come in for because like Xhaka is having a fantastic season, so he's not going to bench Xhaka. So yeah, I'm not really sure the situations. We'll have to wait and see. But Saka, his numbers are still really good. Like, they haven't actually had a penalty in a while, but his numbers are still like incredible, and he seems to be returning like most weeks anyway. You could go Ødegaard if you don't have the money, but this still has $1 million in the bank, so that's just for like a rainy day if you do need to bring in any other players. But yeah, Saka, I just really like him as an option. Mahrez is in this draft as well. You know, he just seems to be in Pep's favour a lot now. He does have Spurs away this week. Again, all the City players do, but you know, you kind of want them in for that double game week 23, and you don't have to use a transfer down the line or anything. So yeah, Mahrez is in the team. Rashford is in the team, who I think is probably the best captaincy option this week. So he's got to be in the team. Andreas Pereira is in this team because it's very unlikely that they blank well, they are still down as a blank in game week 28, but they are the team that's like likely not to blank. And then they also don't blank in 25 as well. And they've got a pretty nice fixture, which is Wolves at home. So, you know, if you do have Fulham players and you're thinking about getting rid of them, just take that into account that they do have Wolves at home in 25, and then they might not blank in game week 28 as well. I think they're like the lowest percentage chance to blank in game week 28. So just take that into consideration if you are thinking of selling Mitrovic this week or Andres Pereira or something like that, because you also have to think about those blanks down the line. I know it's nice to get rid of Pereira for a Brighton player this week, but you know, Brighton are most likely going to, well, no, Brighton will blank in 25 now because obviously Newcastle won. So yeah, that's something you have to take in consideration. And then Fernandez is in this draft as well. Again, also a pretty good captaincy option this week. I don't know how United are going to like shape up now with Eriksen gone. Obviously, they've just signed, what's his face? Oh my God, that guy. So they've just signed him, so I think it is him anyway, from on the transfer window. So again, he'll come in, but again, I don't know how that's going to shape up United, but that's a really nice loan move to kind of fill in for Eriksen. That's the midfield anyway. Up top, we've got Nketiah, Haaland, and Kane. Again, Nketiah and Haaland both doubling in 23, and then Kane is just in there because, yes, he will be blanking, but at the same time, this fixture run is absolutely ridiculous. Like, after game week 22, he's got Leicester, West Ham, Chelsea, Wolves, Forest, Southampton, Everton, Brighton, Bournemouth, and I know there's some blanks in there, obviously, but he's just an absolute... he's having a ridiculous season. It's just Haaland is kind of overshadowing him a little bit, which is the small issue. But at the same time, he's still a really, really good player to own at the moment. So let's go over the blanks real quick. And for game week 28, like, we kind of know what the blanks are going to be for 25 now. Like, it's most likely going, well, it's definitely going to be Newcastle, Brighton, and then it's most likely going to be United, Brentford, thanks to the Carabao Cup. And again, if United win tonight, then Brentford and United are also going to be blanking in 25, which is most likely going to happen because they're 3-0 up and now they're at home. So I think they're going to put out like a B team, but I think Forest will as well. I think as a Forest fan now, I think it would be a bit crazy to assume we're going to get anything at Old Trafford. And we already lost Gibbs White in like the last game, so I don't think Stevie Cooper is going to be like, okay, let's just put out another best 11 and, you know, potentially get more injuries when we've got some big games coming up and obviously need to stay in the league. So yeah, I think we'll just put out a B team as well. I think as a United fan, you're probably a little bit safe this tonight, even though you were already. Anyway, let's move on to the blanks for game week 28. So this was tweeted out by Ben Krellin, at Ben Krellin on Twitter. Make sure to go check him out. One of the best, if not the best, FPL account to follow on Twitter. Always up to date with all the blanks, doubles, everything like that. And so this is the situation in game week 28. So the confirmed fixtures are Arsenal versus Crystal Palace, Aston Villa versus Bournemouth, Chelsea versus Everton, and then Forest versus Newcastle. So from Arsenal, we have 3, which is Nketiah, Saka, and White. From Aston Villa, Bournemouth, we have Mings, so that's 4 players. From Chelsea, Everton, we have Kepa, which is 5 players. And then from Forest, Newcastle, we have 6 players. So we've got 6 players from this wildcard draft for game week 28. We, of course, get game week 25, 26, and 27. So we get 3 free transfers between game week 25 and game week 28. So you need to get in like 5 more players with 3 transfers between 25 and 28. However, though, it also says one or both of these fixtures will go ahead. So Wolves versus Leeds, and then Liverpool versus Fulham. So right now, not many people own many Wolves or Leeds players. You might have Bueno, and I guess you could put him into this team if you really wanted to, but like, I don't really know who you take out for him. And then there's not really any other Wolves players people own. And then Liverpool, Fulham, I guess if you own Salah right now, or maybe like, I don't even know, because they're all like not really good assets at the moment. I don't think many people are really going to own any Liverpool players right now apart from Salah. But that's 2 fixtures that also potentially will go ahead. And of course, Fulham is quite important. So if Fulham goes ahead, you'd have Andres Pereira, which is 7 players. And then you need to bring in 4 players with 3 free transfers. So this is the likeliness of them. So Liverpool v Fulham is like 44%. So again, this is the most likely other game to go ahead. And so are these as well. Like Brentford, Leicester might potentially go ahead, but 70% to blank. Like Brighton, United are definitely going to blank. Pretty much. I mean, City, West Ham are most likely going to blank, and then Southampton and Spurs are going to blank. So obviously this draft here has 3 City, 3 United, and 1 Spurs player already, so that doesn't help. But again, if Fulham don't blank, you need to bring in 4 players in 3 free transfers. So you have to just kind of think about whether it's worth free hitting in game week 28 or taking a hit and getting those players in. The only problem is you're kind of shaping your team up in a bad situation after that. So if you didn't want to and you do still have your free hit, I'd probably, if you're playing your wild card now, I'd probably play my free hit in game week 28. Even though this still kind of sorts you out, you know, if you don't have your free hit, it still kind of sorts you out, getting you 11 players with only taking 1 hit if Andres Pereira will play. But yeah, I think that would also kind of hurt your team a bit. I mean, you're getting like more Newcastle players and stuff as well. Like, it's not the worst case scenario. You'd bring in another Newcastle defender ahead of like maybe Ake, which is fine because Newcastle have got Forest in that week. So you'd probably want to triple up on Newcastle. You'd probably want to triple up on potentially maybe even Chelsea. I mean, James will probably be back by then and stuff, so you probably want another Villa player maybe. These fixtures are actually really nice for the big teams that people own players for. So, you know, your Arsenal, your Villa, your Chelsea, and Newcastle, they've got some really nice fixtures. And then Liverpool potentially a nice fixture as well, but I mean, we just don't really know what's happening with Liverpool this season. But yeah, if you still have your free hit, I'd probably play that in 28 if you are wildcarding this week. But if you're not, you can still get to a relatively decent team with only taking one hit. But either way, that's the wildcard draft, the updated draft for Game Week 22, Double Game Week 22. Like I say, sorts you out for Double Game Week 22 with your United players. I guess you could have a Leeds player in here as well, which also potentially might not blank in 28. But I just don't really know who you bring in. Like, there's honestly, you could potentially bring in Rodrigo, but you know, who do you really get rid of out of that midfield? You've got a mil in the bank, but there's not really any way you can go. So yeah, that's just the situation. Anyway though, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do consider hitting the like button down below. Leave a comment, what transfers are you thinking of making this week? Subscribe if you're brand new. That's everything from me. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.